Good evening, everybody. It's September 5th, 2023, Tuesday, because of the preceding holiday, and this is a regular meeting of the Moscow City Council.
All rise and do the pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to one nation.
Great. Thank you very much. Today, we start off with a proclamation, and it's National Service Dog Month. Whereas September is National Service Dog Month, a time devoted to raising awareness and showing appreciation for the extraordinary work service dogs do every day for the people in their care. And whereas service dogs are specially trained to perform specific tasks for people with disabilities as defined by the Americans with Disabilities Act. And whereas service dogs can be trained to retrieve objects, assist with balance, give seizure or diabetic alerts, or assist those with psychiatric disabilities. And whereas service dogs serve our nation's wounded warriors suffering from conditions including post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injury. And whereas service dogs provide companionship while inspiring confidence, and they live to serve and assist their handlers to better manage disabilities and live fuller lives. Now, therefore, I, Art Betke, Mayor of the City of Moscow, Idaho, do hereby recognize September 2023 as National Service Dog Month in the city, and I urge all citizens to join us in celebrating and honoring service dogs who dedicate their lives to helping their human companions. And we have one of those wonderful assets right over here.
Emma's gonna accept the award.
Yes. So Emma the dog accepts happily the proclamation on behalf of all the service dogs out there working hard on our behalfs. So
Yeah, go for it, Emma.
good stuff. Okay, next up is the consent agenda. Sandra.
Move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
And seconded by Maureen. Drew.
Aye.
Julia.
Aye.
Maureen.
Aye.
Sandra.
Aye.
And absent two.
Oh.
We've still got quorum, so that passes.
I think they'd like it too.
Yeah. Okay, next up is staff recognition. And it so happens that I have staff recognition. And this is a letter that we received from Renata McLeod from the Idaho City Clerks, Treasurers, and Finance Officers. And it reads, "It is with pleasure that I inform you that the City of Moscow City Clerk, Lori Hopkins, has fulfilled the requirements to become certified as an advanced municipal city clerk for the state of Idaho. Thank you for the city's support, which allowed Ms. Hopkins to attend the training that is required for this certification. In doing so, the City of Moscow and its citizens will all benefit from the knowledge that Ms. Hopkins has obtained. As I'm sure you are aware, Ms. Hopkins sets an example for all ICC TFOA members to follow and always sets the bar high. I personally appreciate all she does to help the association prosper." And you were the past president of that august association as well, I believe. So good on you, Lori. Congratulations. And we also know that you relish every moment in the spotlight.
Can we get the camera on her at home?
Cool. Okay, next up is mayoral appointments. And tonight I have one, which is Ivy Dickinson for the Board of Adjustment with an expiration date of 12/31/2026. Sandra.
I move that we approve Ivy Dickinson for
Second.
your commission.
And seconded here. So Sandra.
Aye.
Maureen.
Aye.
Julia.
Aye.
Drew.
Aye.
Okay. Ivy, you out there?
She is.
Would you like to pop up and say a few words? This is your opportunity to,
Wax eloquent.
yes,
Am I
please. Yeah.
Well, that was easy. I'm Ivy. Thanks for considering my application, and I look forward to learning more about the Board of Adjustment and the responsibilities of that board. I'm excited to just learn more and be a part of the community.
Well, you've got a long history of working with government entities, nonprofits, and things like that.
I do.
So I think you probably got a pretty good clue about what you're putting your foot into.
I hope so.
You'll do fine. Thank you so much for volunteering.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ivy.
Welcome. Okay, next up is public comment in the mayor's response period for the next 15 minutes in 3-minute increments. We invite members of the public to come up and speak to us of whatever's on their mind relevant to the city, as long as it's not on tonight's agenda nor pending before planning and zoning or the Board of Adjustment. Who wants to be a taker? All you have to do is come up, state your name, address, and you've got 3 minutes. Okay. No rush there. So next up, we have the Citizens Commission report for the Farmers Market Commission starring Amanda Argona and Jamie Hill, one of our favorite city commissions.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and City staff. Just like all other commissions that the city has, we do an annual presentation on what the Farmers Market Commission has been up to since we last presented last September. So Jamie's been serving on the chair now for how many years? We go through this every year, but very long, as long as I've been in this position. And so we kind of go through the numbers every year and talk about highlights that we want to put into this presentation. And I think we'll also be presenting some numbers on some key points, the America's Farmers Market celebration voting. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to Jamie to take it over for the presentation.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having us. This is always really exciting because I think Amanda and I meet every year and have this, what have we done in the last year? Okay, cool. And then we sit there and talk about numbers and output, and the amount of effort that our city staff puts into making the farmers market happen is absolutely incredible. Like, I genuinely have goosebumps right now. It is incredible how much work happens. There are months where we're sitting in a commission meeting and Amanda comes and says, well, here are, just some of the things that came up this month. And the list is so long, and she's just sitting there smiling. So I want to start just with a big thank you to Amanda and her crew for all of the work they put in. They are why our market happens every week and why it's so amazing. So thank you, Amanda. Buzzes. That's fun. So one of my favorite things about our meetings is we start every meeting. It's actually on our agenda to read the mission as a reminder of why we are in the room. So it helps us know why we're here, why the market is here, and really remind us, as we get further and further into the growth of the market. I think everyone has all these ideas of what they'd like to see change, what they'd like to see improved. But it really comes down to this, that we are celebrating the Palouse, we're providing opportunities, and that the focus is really original, local, handcrafted things that are personal, as well as economic, social, and environmental practices. So that is our mission statement. It's what we stand for, and we don't allow ourselves to forget it. So the Farmers Market Commission consists of up to 9 members. Right now we are at 8. So we are looking for 1 extra community member who wants to join us. But our slate exists of 3 vendor representatives. So we have our produce vendor, our craft vendor, and our specialty food vendors. So we see Gerardo there from Patty's Kitchen. We also have Jenny Parker from Wingover Farms and Cassie Smith from KS Ceramics. We have 4 community members, just at-large community members. Myself, Carrie Morsek, and Josh Larson are the current community members, and we are looking for a 4th one. So if anybody out there on the internet or anybody in this room would like to be on the Farmers Market Commission, we would love to have you. It really is a kick, and you get to learn so much more about the market and help set policies and see how that works. The last 2 members of our commission are special representatives. So we always have 1 person from the Moscow Chamber of Commerce and 1 person from UI Extension. For us, those are Sam Martinet and Colette DePhelps. So here's the fun stuff. All of the numbers. Last year, 2022, we had 133 eligible vendors. This year, we are up to 149. One of the amazing, amazing problems. I get to say amazing, Amanda gets to say challenging. Problems that we have discovered this year is that we have hit capacity for the majority of the markets. So the weekly email that normally goes out and says, hi vendors, we can't wait to see you Saturday. Here's your space assignment, says now, hi vendors, can't wait to probably see you Saturday. Here's your space assignment or where you are on the wait list. We are overflowing with vendors and it is such an exciting challenge to see, but I know that it's also probably quite the heck. So that's pretty exciting. I will say within those 149 vendors, this year we onboarded 38 new vendors total. That includes 10 that were ag, 19 that were craft, and 10 that were food. So lots and lots of new faces at market. I usually try and introduce myself to new vendors, and it's been really weird this summer because every week I feel like there's a new face that I get to go and meet and go, have I met you yet? Have I not found all of them yet? It's kind of exciting. Other kind of some information, we have our craft and food jury every year. These are the crafts that you see. These are the specialty prepared foods that you see. Everyone from Patty's Kitchen, Larissa's Apron, Sister's Cookies to KS Ceramics, and any of like the other crafts jewelry that you see. They actually go through a jury process to get into the market. We look at them, we kind of evaluate their product and their process to see if they meet our mission and they would be good candidates for the market. This year we had 110 inquiries of joining the market for only 45 spots within that jury process. And we ended up doing 42 vendors that were registered and juried out of those 45 spots. But obviously we're still hitting capacity. So that's a great thing. And what is also really interesting is that for next year, where did I put this number? We already have 72 inquiries about jurying into the market for next year. This market hasn't ended, and we have 72 asks about how to get into it next year for non-ag vendors. So that is mind-blowing. And then the third thing on there is our customer counts. We've been doing rapid market assessments and customer counts for the last few years, really trying to calculate not only how many people we're seeing in the market, adults and children, but also some of our RMAs have led to larger questions like what is the economic impact of the market on the city of Moscow and the county? Last year, our customer counts put us at an average of about 7,421 adults per week. That doesn't include the kids. I want to say that number was in the 3,000s. That was just by counting and doing data processes that are cool. And this year, our customer count is looking to be on trend with that, possibly a little bit higher. I will say we've been counting once a month, and the first few months looked about like that. The last month looked better than that, and I have a feeling heading into September with our date that those numbers will continue to increase. As reference, I know we kind of hate doing this, but pre that thing that happened in 2020, we were averaging 10,000 adults per week. So it's really encouraging to see kind of the growth of the community coming back and hitting hopefully an 8,000-ish number this year. America's Farmers Market celebration is pretty exciting. The voting is now open. It is open till September 18th. If you have not yet voted, please get out your device, get out your gizmos, get out a piece of paper and write this down. We made a really easy way for you to get to the vote. You can just type in bit.ly/peasvote and it'll take you straight to the Moscow page to vote for us. What this is a national competition. It's all for fun, but it's also for money. And farmers markets across the country compete to see who is the best farmers market in the state, the region, and in the nation. Last year, we came in 23rd in the nation. We came in 3rd in the Pacific region, and we came in 2nd in Idaho, behind this lovely little city down south called Nampa. This year, we are doing pretty well. We've broken the top 15 for a second. We've been holding number 1 in Pacific and Idaho for a while. Today, we are 60 votes. This was as of about an hour ago. 60 votes behind Nampa.
No.
We can't lose to Nampa again.
No.
I mean, as a Southern Idaho veteran, Nampa is up and coming, but our market has so much more on it. So we're looking at hopefully getting about 300 or more votes to make a solid placing in the top 10. And that should put us at the top for Idaho and close to the top for the Pacific as well. Consistently, we've been in the top 25 for the past 7 years. So we would like to stay up there, but we'd also like to get higher if that's possible. Like I said, voting ends September 18th. So please, please, please share that link with everyone you know. Please vote. And it is 1 vote per person is the AFMC guidelines. 1 vote per personal email address. So if you have a work address and you have a home address, that's great. Because we don't want to lose to Nampa, especially by 60 votes. Last year, this year, we're already sitting about that number, 1,600.
Wow.
Almost.
1,600. The number 1 right now has like 5,000. So that would be really cool. Thank you. Numbers. So beyond all of that, obviously the commission, we love to have fun. Some of the things that we're looking forward to having up next, we have 8 more markets, including our final one, which will be a Halloween costume contest. And so we will see you all again soon when we present our winners from the contest. We're already looking forward to next year's poster art design. So start thinking, if you are of the creative mind, how to design next year's poster. As I mentioned, we're already getting inquiries about the craft and food juries. So if you know anyone who is interested in the market, please send them to Amanda, please send them to myself. I know all of the commission members love to answer questions and really encourage. We want to have those problems of having overflowing people in the market. And then our other super exciting thing is that there's going to be a new P in the free range veggie crew. And so we're all super excited for Amanda and Aaron
As are we.
to expand their family. So that is all I have for you today, Council. And I would love to welcome any questions if you have any.
Drew.
So I've always wondered this. And so can you refresh my memory on how many potential vendors that you had? Is like 100?
We have 149 eligible vendors this year.
Okay. And so depending on what season they provide, how do you determine those metrics, right? Like if they're a summertime vendor, like do you break them down into those categories and kind of peel them off that way to know how they have a place? Or I'm just kind of curious about the
Yeah, that's kind of a layered question. And Amanda is absolutely the expert there. We do put an emphasis on agricultural vendors first. And we have a policy that we hope to have 50% of the market being at those ag vendors. Other than that, it is a very complicated system of scheduling. Vendors get to say, I want to be at these, I don't want to be at these, and put those in ahead of time, those requests in. But for very detailed answer to that, I would ask Amanda.
Okay.
So Jamie's right. We do emphasize ag vendors, and we qualify ag vendors as everything from fresh produce and fresh flowers to your value-added agricultural products that might even be shelf-stable. For instance, we have a new vendor this year who is offering pet treats that are processed from cows that they raise. So those, what's considered offal, the liver, what else is trachea, those sort of things. So, those vendors do get priority over, say, someone that is offering like a specialty food item
Like
or a craft
or
vendor.
something.
Yeah. And of course, everyone wants to be in the market when the weather is good, there's no wind, there's no rain. So we do see that competition. And then the other big thing is if it's a really good growing year, we have vendors staying in the market longer than normal. Last year, we had a really bad year for huckleberries. our huckleberry vendor never was able to attend. And this year he was able to attend, I believe, all 8 markets that he initially projected and requested. So it is a complicated system. And then remaining open space, we look at neighboring vendors. So we try to not put 2 wood product vendors right next to one another or anything like that. We can't guarantee sales, but we can guarantee fair competition. Does that answer your question?
No, it does, absolutely.
Yeah, it's very nuanced.
Right.
Yeah.
No, and can't be easy either.
No.
Julia.
I have a question for you, Amanda, if it's okay. But so I anticipate you'll be taking some time off.
Yes.
And like I can't imagine somebody filling your
Mhm.
overalls, but
They're pretty small to fill.
A good backup, or
Yeah, we've got a really great support system in place. Laura Perigo, the administrative specialist for Community Events Division, has been taking on more and more responsibility each Saturday. And I've been working with Cody Riddle to kind of identify the physical help that we need at market right now to accommodate sort of my pregnancy. But I feel confident in Laura's abilities. And I also feel confident as the weather kind of starts to tamper down that we'll see less of the traffic jams that we've been seeing with vendor space assignments. August and September, when the students are back, is when vendors want to be there. And so we'll just see how it shakes out. But I'm hoping to continue to be a support system for Laura as long as possible into October. But my due date is mid-October. So.
I don't think there is really a down season anymore with job. Like it's hard.
Yeah.
Good. Well, Laura's great. So
yeah.
Thank you. Great.
I'm going to say, I think it's a hard one because people are all committing, competing for certain spots and dates, and to make sure that you get it all done right, minimizing how many people are barking at you, I think is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think vendors in their first year learn a lot. And I think we'll probably see a lot of these folks who requested a lot of dates, didn't maybe understand the inventory that they needed. They could be making some adjustments next season. So, people are always really great and being directed to Jamie if they're unhappy with my responses. And she's a great point person. And we also direct them to those vendor representatives in the market. So they have someone that they can maybe relate to business-wise. So.
Cool. Great. Thank you guys so much. Good work. We appreciate it. Nice.
Yeah.
And guess what? That takes us smack to the end of the agenda items and into reports. So Maureen.
I have nothing to report.
Sandra.
Let's see. Again, my weird glasses issue. I'm working on it, I promise. Let's see. I didn't have anything specific, but the city picnic was held, which was a lot of fun. Appreciated that. I didn't get to stay for a long time, but I did get to wander around and talk to folks and had a really good time and inspect the pool for this coming Sunday's big event, Howling at the Hamilton. Can't wait to talk about that. In fact, I think maybe just all of the next city council meeting should just be a slide so that I take of all the great dogs there, but that probably won't fly. And I also got to sub in for the mayor and do a nice city welcome at Pride, which I appreciated. So thank you, Mayor, for letting me take that on. That was great. Had a good parade, good turnout, a safe turnout at Pride, lots of different vendors. So it was really great to participate in that. And I think that is it. Was it Tuesday Market tonight? Fabulous. Love the Tuesday Market addition to what we have. So that's all I have.
Cool. Julia.
I was able to participate in the Idaho Transportation Department round. I don't know. It wasn't really a round table. There were only 3 of us. Triangular panel. Thank you. With 2 other council members, Haley and Gina, and the ITD is starting to ask for public input regarding, don't start emailing me yet, Highway 95 and Highway 8. So they are looking very long-term into what to do about Highway 8 and Highway 95 and how they work or don't work with our city. So it was very promising because they really want to do a lot of outreach. And so we talked to them a lot about, I think Haley and I both told them, you cannot over communicate, it was impossible for this project. So it was encouraging, and I hope that more people get involved and as the project unfolds.
Are we gonna have a little dot thing again?
A dot thing, they didn't talk about the dot thing.
It was last year.
Yeah, but there will be lots of opportunities to talk to ITD about how 95 and 8 function or not with the city. I know in maybe a couple weeks, they're going to do a walking tour through Moscow and look at the crosswalks, especially at 8 and 95 there. So yeah, it was encouraging that they're going to take lots of input. But they're talking about 2050. And I was like, well,
2050.
I'll be dead. So,
Jeez.
okay, I'll be 82.
Anticipatory.
Likelihood. Anyway, maybe some more young people should get involved.
Drew.
Yeah, so a couple updates. Parks and Rec, always great to attend that, hear what they have going on. A little bit about a pool update. So it was a very successful summer for lifeguards and staff. I think it's they said it was the most staff that they've ever had, and so made for the pool in general, for management a lot easier. They're able to have shifts, and so they're really happy for that. Hoping to retain a lot of that talent going into next year. And so, and then of course you already announced it, but this coming weekend, they're gonna, I don't even know what it's called.
Howling at the Hamilton, 1 to 6, $15 per dog.
Be there, or be wet. And so, and then with that too, they're gonna, so that's the last weekend for the pool, but overall they had very successful for a pool season. Really like the staff. For affordable housing, we have a lot to discuss besides just some things that are coming up. We talked about training and, but yeah, pretty short meeting there. So that concludes all of my events. Mr. Mayor, since you weren't here when I gave my last one, I reported that we did not win you your loser's trophy in the golf tournament.
It was scandalous. So there is an empty spot on the shelf in the mayor's office for the loser's trophy with just a little black ribbon hanging down where it should have been. We missed being in last place by 1 stroke. And I'm blaming that on our Parks and Rec, David Schott, who put the last shot onto the green within about that far from the cup.
Wow.
And so that was an easy plunk and ruined us. So, oh well. That's what happens when you get a good ringer on your team. So the honest politicians went down.
Did Gina promise she was going to be the ringer?
Yep. But Gina got preoccupied, so she couldn't make it. Oh, well. And as for me, even mayors get a vacation now again. For the past couple of weeks, I've been up in Greenland. Took a boat ride up to Greenland and saw it in all of its magnificent desolation. I encourage anybody to take a trip up there because it is a whole different world where nothing grows taller than that. No trees at all, just mountains and ice. It's great. So that's my delightful report. I enjoyed. Anything from staff? And nothing from staff. So motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Yes. And Julia seconds this time. All in favor? Aye. So we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Short meeting tonight.